Hey guys, so on Thursday, China announced that their foreign exchange dropped an amount of um from 3.4 trillion to 3.3 trillion. That brings the total decline in the foreign exchange reserves to 513 billion. This might be evidence that investors are losing hope in China, and China is running through their foreign exchange reserves. China's inability to control uh, these economic changes will also have global implications. Uh, it's of course well known that global demand for cheap Chinese goods are declining, and that's bad news for China because almost all of its economy is based on export. It's based on you know demand from abroad. So, for example, if Europe and United States are buying less goods from China, that will have little impact on Europe and United States, but it will have very big impact on China because almost all of its economy, all of the Chinese economy is based on export. So that will have very big implications on China, on China's budget, and China has big foreign exchange, and of course that gives China comfort, but they're already it will help China only so much. Eventually they will run out of foreign exchange, and what's going to happen then when the foreign exchange reserves are dried out? So basically, China has the difficult years ahead because they have to do some restructuring of their economy because their economy is not a real economy. Just like I said, it's mostly based on export, and the domestic economy of China doesn't exist because the products that China is producing it's too expensive for their own population. For example, of course, there's some tiny group that can afford iPhones in China, but the majority of people who in China they cannot afford the iPhone or the other expensive goods they're producing. So basically, what's going to happen is probably we're going to see adjustments of the Chinese economy. This will definitely lead to new economic, upheaval in China. Probably we could also see the disintegration of China because um, there are other strong players in the region such as Japan and the United States, India, that will have pretty stable economy, and there will be of course some provinces in China that will try to loose loosen itself from Beijing, so it can uh, be closer to Japan or be closer to India or the United States. And of course, a good example of that is South Korea. South Korea is a good example, and we might see China heading in in the same direction. Maybe one part of China will be pro Europe, and another part of China will be anti Europe, communist, and there will be probably something like that in the future.